Hello and welcome. Today we're going to cover the ultimate crypto portfolio for 2024. First, I want to say that it's not too late to build your crypto portfolio now late December 2023, but it's the right time. Many believe, and I also agree, that the next bull run may be the last chance for retail/regular users to experience some life-changing returns. After that, with the ETFs and mass adoption, the governments, institutions, the investment funds, pretty much the big guys will probably overtake the industry, and with that the control of the price will become way bigger and the moves way smaller. Don't underestimate the fact that the upcoming bull run will be the biggest and potentially the most impactful for retail investors like us. Welcome to the channel where we talk about crypto in a simple way, but we also try to keep our common sense. If you want to stay reasonable and with realistic expectations, subscribe and support the channel. Now, I think what I'll say next is very important, but if you're not interested in my pre-portfolio pleading, just skip the video directly to the portfolio using the video shortcuts. Also, I'll upload short version of the video focusing only the portfolio, so you can look for that as well. Now to the main question, are we really going to have bull cycle in 2024-2025? We can confirm the bull cycle by dissecting three main catalysts which are coming in 2024. First, Bitcoin spot ETFs, which may be approved in January, that will bring US institutional investors to crypto, and that's huge. Second, Bitcoin halving in April. History tells us that the halving usually starts the next crypto bull cycle, at least what we have experienced for the past 14 years. Number 3, Fed to pause interest rate hikes and start dropping them in Q3, Q4 of 2024. That means that the money printer will start again and risky assets, including crypto, will start to see big money coming in, and the timing will be perfect. On top of everything, we have really nice technical expression on the charts that can confirm all the upcoming bullish catalysts, with the recent price of BTC hitting 44k. All this combined forms a perfect storm and tells us that the bull cycle is emerging, and as a crypto retail investor, if you haven't yet, now is the time to start building your personal crypto portfolio. To the other important question, are we going to experience a dip/pullback before the bull cycle so you can wait for better prices? Well, I don't know. No one does. Historically, we did experience pullbacks before the run, but this cycle is a little bit different because of the ETFs. However, trying to be helpful, I visualized 4 possible scenarios for you to consider, and let's take a look at those charts. First scenario, pullback now, ETF gets approved, surge in the price, pullback, halving, and then cycle to start. Second scenario, consolidation now, ETF to get approved, surge in the price, pullback, halving, and then cycle to start. Third scenario, up move towards 50k, ETF to get approved, another surge in the price, then pullback, halving, and cycle to start. And the last one, consolidation or price range of the price between 43 and 33k, then halving, bull cycle to start, ETF approval at later point, which will bring to additional price surge, and then probably into a very sharp pullback, which will scare a lot of people, but I believe that after that the bull cycle will just recover and continue till end of the 2025. Keep in mind that all those actions, all those scenarios may take the whole 2024 and 2025. I think there is a higher probability for us to not see a good pullback before the cycle, or we might see one but from higher prices. That means you should not care much about waiting because you might miss the train. The logic which I will consider if I have concerns about the current prices is to put in 50% of my capital now, and if a pullback starts, average the price. But with such approach, you have to be okay with the fact that you will leave 50% out of your capital to invest in future projects and take decisions on the fly. And taking quick decisions during a bull run can lead into mistakes due to the FOMO factor. Keep that in mind. Taking all this in consideration, my portfolio is targeting only crypto assets that can make at least 10x during the next bull cycle, and that's from now. And last, before we jump into the portfolio, some important and logical points. Bitcoin is the only store of value. Ethereum is the biggest name after Bitcoin. Those two are in a different category and should take the biggest portion of any portfolio, in my opinion. Once the market starts to move up, start to take profits. 5x, 10x, depending on the project capabilities, taking profits is very important. Mass selling is also extremely vital. You should be prepared to sell almost everything once you get your targets, or you start to hear about crypto too much from the TV and sources which are not into the crypto field. That's a big indication that the top is very near. Same if we reach 10 trillion market cap overall. that's gonna be a big indication that too much money are on the table and things will start to fall apart pretty soon. In the same time, keep some funds in, like maybe 10% for the crazy moves, because after all it's crypto and we have to be prepared for the weird stuff, and maybe BTC to reach 400k. Highly unlikely, but who knows. If not, it's okay. You will probably lose potential profits on the 10% and sell on bad price, but if we do see the unseen thus far, at least you will be in the game and not miss that chance. Crypto projects come and go. Always have some funds aside for the new projects that will come up prior or during the bull cycle, because they might generate the biggest returns, or at least be prepared to do some allocations if needed. We'll talk about that when we discuss the portfolio. And last but not least, only if you need to, have strict percentage for your personal FOMO. Not everyone needs that, but if you are weak on the hands and you have to feed your gamble hunger, predetermine strict FOMO percentage and never extend that. Okay, let's go and discuss the portfolio now. As you can see, I follow a lot of projects. I have a nice overview of around probably 100 crypto projects or more. My picks are based on technology, team behind it, narrative, media coverage, hype, tokenomics, gains potential, and my personal opinion about the project and the field. I filter a lot of stuff and I try to pick the best projects with the best gains potential. Since it's late December, I have moved some pieces and picked only projects that I believe have the minimum 10x potential. Well, BTC, Ethereum and Solana, which are part of the portfolio, may have only 5x, but the rest should have solid 10x in them. If we get a pullback, nice, that means bigger X potential. I'm saying that because some famous projects already did 5-10x during 2023 and I'm out of them because I really don't see them to do another 10x or more. Just the market cap does not make any sense. Now let's move to the portfolio. The first two here are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin, 30% of my portfolio goes there as the safest crypto out there, recognized as a real store of value. My reasonable expectation about the Bitcoin price is for the price to reach at least 150k during the next bull cycle. I have a video about it, you can go and watch it. Next one is Ethereum, taking 20% of my portfolio. Ethereum keeping 15 to 20% market dominance for the last 3 years has proven that it's here to stay. It expects its own ETFs to get approved, and since it's already under the scope of regulations confirming that it's commodity, there is no risk for it to get into a lawsuit or any other trouble. Tech is there, team is there, coverage is there. It's just another no-brainer. As I said, second call, taking 20% of my portfolio. As you can see, only those two take 50% of my portfolio already, and they are really in a different category. That's why we have empty space between them and everything else. And on the right here, we have the risk/expectation legend, where you can figure out my sentiment. Higher the risk, lower the gain potential. Most importantly, we have to be prepared that the markets in crypto can really lose 95% of the value on the assets we bet on, and that's part of the game. Now, in order to diversify and potentially not miss bigger gains, because BTC and ETH will probably not 20-30x, that's why we split our capital in all of the main hot categories and narratives: Layer 1, Layer 2, DeFi, DEX, cross-chain, memes, AI and gaming. Starting with the first category where we have the Layer 1 projects. The first name here is Solana, taking 2% of my portfolio, the most resilient project in 2023. After the FTX collapse, no one thought Solana will recover, but it did. Founded in 2017 and mainnet using proof of stake launch in 2020, Solana has seen good and bad. Solana goals are DeFi, NFTs, crypto payments, is the official chain of USDC, and the end goal of Solana is still to become the decentralized competitor of the centralized stock exchanges like Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange, etc. Scaling, speed, fees, Solana has it all and deserves a spot in my portfolio with a strong 2% share. The next name here is ICP, taking another 2%. Internet Computer ICP is the most advanced L1 in the list because you can build almost any online system or service without the need of a traditional IT, such as a cloud computing, for example like AWS. ICP providing full end-to-end decentralization, a really promising project, extremely good social coverage and acceptance. The team is there. It's just one of the new ways of crypto technology, which in my opinion is set to do very good in the upcoming couple of years, and that's why ICP takes another 2% of my portfolio. After that we have Avalanche, Cardano and VeChain. Avalanche with 2%, Cardano with 2%, and VeChain with 1%. Avalanche, one of the top gaming platforms, and recently they launched Avalanche Vista, targeting real assets tokenization, both very hot narratives. AVAX is a top pick for almost everyone out there, taking another 2% of my portfolio. Cardano is the next name, once launched the Ethereum killer, DeFi, NFT, payments, gaming, the first blockchain to introduce decentralized proof of stake, a little bit slow, but still one of the leading L1s even in late 2023. Which no one should underestimate because it can perform, and that's why it's taking another 2% share. Next one is VeChain, another OG went through the storms. VeChain aims to use distributed governance and Internet of Things technologies to create an ecosystem which solves major data hurdles for multiple global industries, from medical to energy, food and beverage, and sustainability and SDG goals. One of the proven L1s that should provide safe and in the same time good gains in 2024. And last in the L1 category, we are going to finish with a mix of another 5 L1s for maximum exposure. Hedera H-Bar, Celestia, Cosmos, Near, and Sui by Libra. Where Hedera and Cosmos, they're OGs just for maximum exposure. Both projects are proven, very solid tech and team behind them, good media coverage, and they should do very good in the next bull cycle. Celestia, on the other hand, is bringing some innovation. By splitting the execution layer from the consensus layer, offering developers to choose different smart contracts and different languages to build on, but not to be forced into one, like Ethereum for example. Very promising and solid new project with innovation tech to look for in 2024. And then we have Near, which is a bet outside of the Ethereum virtual machine, focusing transactions, speed, and improving of interoperability. For example, Flux is an interesting project built on Near. It's just another name from the L1s that has very good capability to provide good performance in 2024. And last from the mix is Sui by Libra, one of the last keepers of the programming language Move, initially created by Libra, which was project of Meta. Is one of those hidden L1 gems that might surprise us with a nice performance in 2024. And as you can see, the whole mix takes 2% of my portfolio, and that's equally spread between the 5 picks. With all that said, we are done with the L1 category. As you can see, I have extremely nice exposure across all promising L1s. And now, before we move towards the layer 2 allocations, I want to uncover one more coin, and it's called XRP. We all know about the payment processing pride of crypto, if we can call it like that. XRP, with the recent lawsuit win, there is nothing else to hold the price and to stop the project from showing its full potential. XRP, is it really going to overtake big chunk of the Visa market share? Well, we'll see. I was holding quite decent amount of XRP, but I did exit on the lawsuit spike, honestly, and reduced my holdings to 1%. And it's one of the projects that I consider as a safe bet. They should perform good, but I also do not expect something too crazy. And I consider that 10x is the maximum we should see from XRP, but still a safe bet in my eyes. And that's why I'll allocate 1% of my portfolio there. And now let's move to the layer 2 picks. The first 3 names here are Arbitrum, Optimism, and Polygon, all of them taking 1% each of my portfolio. Arbitrum is the first name. It's ranked number 1 in layer 2 in DeFi and ranked number 4 from all chains by total value locked and fees. Heavily driven by DeFi transactions, is choice number 1 for Ethereum, as most projects who build on Ethereum prefer to cross-chain with Arbitrum because they have the optimistic roll-up tech, which is the easiest way to deploy and secure layer 2. Next one is OP or Optimism, and it's the rival of Arbitrum based on the technology optimistic rollup. They were kind of lagging after Arbitrum, but actually managed to catch up and beat Arbitrum after they released the super chain, which allows partners to deploy their own L2s using the OP stack. Now, something important to keep in mind also is that the Arbitrum major token unlock will take place in March 2024. Which can drop the price, but it can also give us a nice entry opportunity if we're still out. Compared to Optimism, which token unlock already took place in June 2023. Next in the L2 category is Polygon, the leading ZK rollup solution for Ethereum, and the first to go live with their ZK EVM in 2023, and one of the most promising L2s out there, honestly. If you're looking to deploy L2, Polygon is one of the solid choices out there. Keep in mind that OKX Near, Immutable, and many more are already on Polygon, and that makes Polygon quite of a promising project. And one more note, Polygon are changing their Matic token ticker to POL, P-O-L. Now, after we have discussed the first three names, we have one more project to discuss here, and they have an unreleased token, which I'm aiming to get, and that's ZK Sync. Very smooth project like Optimism, extremely popular in DeFi. They have problem with the gas fees, if we can call it a problem, but their solution is a gas refund mechanism that refunds up to 90% of the gas fees, and you can actually pay for the fees in any ERC20 token. And before you start to whine about the gas fees like all of us, keep in mind that in early 2024, we have the EIP 4844 coming, and that will reduce the transactions fees of all layer 2s by a lot, dropping them under 10 cents. All of the layer 2s have supreme tech, teams and coverage behind them, and they get 1% each of my portfolio. I feel the exposure is fairly good for 2024. I don't have an additional exposure mix here, but sector allocations are possible if I see something very innovative and promising in the space. We're done with the L2s and now we're moving on to the DeFi field. The first two names here are Injective and Prisma Finance with 1% each. Injective is one of the best performing crypto coins for the past year. DeFi suit, token swap, leading exchange, they have the Helix app where you can try all the Injective DEX functionalities. Injective is built on Cosmos stack, and Injective's ability to bring all kinds of tokens from different chains into the platform through its inter-blockchain communication protocol makes it an extremely good DeFi choice. But looking at the price now, because I'm in from around $10, and when I was preparing the video, the price was around 50. Now it's like 40 plus. It's crazy. We need slight pullback here to re-enter, or we are looking into potentially lower gains. Just keep that in mind. The next name, Prisma Finance, is a liquid staking protocol where you can mint a stablecoin and use it as a collateral to farm passive income. Something new and interesting in the field of liquid staking that can do very good in 2024. As I said, both taking 1% each of my portfolio. The next name is quite of a big one, Chainlink, and that's the leader of DeFi oracles, and it's the best DeFi cross-chain project out there. Most, if not all, DeFi applications use Chainlink to access data feeds, Chainlink use cases, financial services, DeFi gaming, NFT, climate market, enterprises, insurance. Chainlink is literally adopted by everyone and really has no competition at this point, therefore it should perform extremely well in the next bull cycle, and that's why it takes 2% of my portfolio. The next name is asnwer, and here we allocate 1%. Another cross-chain bridge. asnwer delivers a source cross-chain communication for Web3. The projects provide decentralized networks and tools to help builders of decentralized application dApps with seamless cross-chain communication through the protocol suite, tools and APIs. asnwer is also one of the 3 projects mentioned into the latest real-world assets tokenization partnership between JP Morgan and Avalanche. And asnwer ICO price was $1, therefore everything under that is kind of discount. And asnwer is taking 1% of my portfolio. Moving now to the next name, it's Filecoin. Filecoin is open source and decentralized, which means that all governance is in the hands of the community. On the Filecoin platform, developers have the opportunity to create cloud file storage services like Dropbox or iCloud. Anyone can join Filecoin and start storing their data or earn money by providing space for someone else. The creators of Filecoin opted for their blockchain technology to run the network and their tokens with their own consensus. Filecoin, the best project for data storing by far, and that takes 1% of my portfolio. Now we're moving to something more extravagant, decentralized social and Helium. The decentralized social ticker DSO is layer 1 blockchain for decentralized social media. You know, decentralized Twitter, decentralized video apps, communication apps, Spotify, TikTok, everything social but decentralized. It's the best crypto social project out there by far and really deserves a spot into my portfolio with 1%. The next one, Helium, is a communication and Internet of Things. They offer a low power 5G Internet of Things solution through their Helium hotspot. You can use and mine Helium by building those decentralized networks. It's a solution where you can connect devices and collect data without maintaining wireless infrastructure. It's an interesting one, actually the most interesting one in my opinion in the comms field that should do quite well in the upcoming year, and that's why I allocate 1% of my portfolio there. And after that we have the DeFi mix for maximum portfolio exposure, which consists Uniswap, DYDX, PancakeSwap, Kronos by Crypto.com and Pendle. The first three, which are Uniswap and DYDX and PancakeSwap, they are extremely well-known cryptocurrency and decentralized exchanges for trading digital assets, and I have them here for maximum crypto portfolio exposure. Kronos, or Kron on the other hand, is the native cryptocurrency token for Kronos Chain, a decentralized open source blockchain developed by Crypto.com. Now, not everyone likes this project because it's by Crypto.com, but we cannot underestimate the fact that they have massive exposure and they usually do good in bull cycles. And last but not least, here we have Pendle. Similar to Prisma, Pendle is a liquid staking yield project that allows you to control your staking by locking them for fixed periods or receive them early. And you can also choose to add liquidity, which will boost your yield profits. The whole mix here takes 1% of my portfolio and aims to provide full exposure to the DeFi field. Now, before we move on, we have to talk about the future of DeFi. We have layer 0 here with 1%, and it's similar to Chainlink but has not launched its token yet, which means that we can be early here. Layer 0 is a cross-chain project that provides cross-chain bridging, liquidity and token swapping, etc. Massive expectations here, massive social coverage. They also have an airdrop for which you can still qualify, and for this project I keep 1% of my portfolio. And last in the field here, it's the upcoming DeFi projects. And here I keep solid 3% for the future DeFis. I feel that the DeFi space is oversaturated, but in the same time we're in a bad need of another Uniswap, which is better, with more innovative technology, and that is also sharing the fees with its users. Therefore, I believe we're waiting for the better projects in DeFi field, especially in DEX prior or during the next bull cycle. And with all that said, we are moving into the next sector, which is gaming. Okay, the first four names here are Gawa, Immutable, Superverse and CDFI, all taking 1% each from my portfolio. Gawa is a good gaming infra. Currently there is ongoing shareholder lawsuit, but that can create opportunities. The price is lagging, at the same time very good project, a lot of games on board, it's just a solid one that should do good in 2024. Next one is Immutable, another good project. They have Illuvium, they have amazing marketing campaign, they even have their logo on Twitter. When you search for Web3 games, their logo appears, coverage is there, tech is there, team is there. It's just one of the safer bets. Third name is Superverse by Ilio Trades, which is a YouTuber, part of the New Tokyo ecosystem. Superverse, a very good project. They have the game Imposters, which is similar to the famous game Among Us. Ilio Trades and his partner from New Tokyo, Alex Becker, are extremely famous YouTubers having extremely big following, and I expect this project to do quite well with a huge hype wave during the bull cycle. CDFI is the fourth name here and it's a launchpad for games. You need one of those if you're a creator and you want to launch Web3 game. And CDFI is one of the top places for that. Usually launchpads do very well during hype and bull cycles, and you can make ridiculous games with them. Something here is that they work good only during hype and bull cycles. But for the sake of ultimate portfolio exposure, we need one, and CDFI is a great name to bet on. And all four here are taking 1% of my portfolio. The next name here is Beam by Merit Circle. The Beam token serves as a native crypto asset for the Beam network, a gaming network empowered by the Merit Circle's DAO. Beam, an interesting one. They have a treasury of nearly 100 million, by the way, which they maintain in the same levels across the whole bear market, and that's truly remarkable. Beam is a subnet of Avalanche and is an ecosystem where gamers and developers come together to shape the future of the gaming industry. Beam's SDK is a flexible software development kit that enables game developers to choose between a variety of tools that can be used to fuel and structure their in-game blockchain elements. So that's Beam, good potential, 1% of my portfolio. And now moving on to the actual game names, we have Illuvium, we have the Sandbox, and we have Shrapnel. First name is Illuvium and it's an Immutable and it's the best Web3 RPG. Second name is the Sandbox and it's the best Minecraft type of Web3 game. And the last name is Shrapnel, which is the closest to AAA shooter in the crypto gaming space. All three game names are extremely solid projects which should perform very well in the next bull cycle, and all deserve 1% each of my portfolio. Now, before we move to the gaming mix and the future names, we have one more project to talk about. It's called Robit, and it's the only GameFi name here. Robit is the only casino type Web3 bet I have, and honestly we need more competition here, but since I want to get maximum portfolio exposure, I need something from the GameFi, and Robit is a promising name, and honestly currently it's the most promising name in my opinion. Now, before we move on, we have to talk about the gaming mix here, which consists Ronin, Wemix, Echelon Prime, Axie Infinity and Big Time, where Ronin, Wemix and Echelon Prime are gaming infra. Ronin, they have Axie Infinity, arguably the most successful Web3 game. They also have Pixels, it's just one of the new names to bet on in the crypto gaming space. Wemix, on the other hand, is made by WeMade, which is a publicly traded Korean company, a big name in the gaming industry. Their franchise game Mir is extremely popular, and they also have live games with active user base on Steam, another solid name that should do good in the next bull cycle. And last here is Echelon Prime, last from the mixed gaming infra, another advanced Web3 platform which enhances game experience. Tokenomics here are not looking extremely well due to the fact that they have like 30% circulating, but the project is promising and I'm allocating small portion of the portfolio here. The last two names are Axie Infinity and then we have the Big Time, which are both very promising Web3 games, solid names that should perform quite good in the next bull cycle. As I said, the whole mix takes 1% of the portfolio for the maximum exposure, which is equally spread among the 5 projects. And now, before we move on to the next field, we have to talk about the future projects. The first one is Ready Games. They don't have token yet and they are quite promising projects. They are targeting Web2 games and bringing them into the Web3 space. So the player base can finally have a choice to pick if they want to play them as a regular Web2 game or Web3 with all the blockchain tokenization benefits, including the in-game assets. Ready Game, high expectations here. I keep 1% for the token once it becomes live. The next name which we're going to talk about is Dead Drop by Midnight Society by Dr. Disrespect, another AAA shooter by one of the most famous and influential streamers out there. By nature, this project is expected to do good and I keep 1% for that as well. And in addition here, I will keep 1% more for future names in the gaming field, as I expect the space to explode in the upcoming bull cycle. And if you're into gaming, I have a video about the top 20 promising crypto gaming projects of 2024, which you might be interested to watch. Okay, we're done with gaming and now we're moving to the next field, which is meme coins. Listen, I have one thing to say here. Never underestimate the meme coins. They print millionaires during hype or bull cycles, and that's why I allocate 1% each in Doge, Pepe and Shiba, the most famous meme coins, the most promising communities, projects out there. So we have the OG Doge, we have Pepe and we have Shiba Inu. Out of all three, only Shiba has team working on launching things. They have Swap, they have Shibarium, which is layer 2, they have NFTs, Metaverse, they have free-to-play card games, so they do develop. On the other hand, Doge is just Doge, you know. Basically relies on the fact that it's OG and relies on Elon Musk's tweeting about it, you know. But in some universe, if Doge becomes part of Twitter X, well, we might see some crazy, weird stuff going on with the price. Pepe, on the other hand, has a massive community behind it. Well, it can have massive community behind it in the face of the real Pepe meme. And if that community recognizes Pepe coin as the official one, that will lead into some crazy gains as well. So do not underestimate the meme coins. Of course, when we talk about meme coins, keep in mind that 99.9% of them are scams, but The ones that stay can produce and, massive gains and print millionaires. It's a fact. We have seen it so many times. And for the ultimate maximum portfolio exposure, I pick Doge, Pepe, and Shiba as the top 3 picks, and I'm allocating 1% each. And the last category we are going to talk about today is the AI space, where we have few picks. Render and Akash Network are the first 2 names here. They're quite similar. Render is the better one in my eyes, but both with great potential. Render is a GPU rendering network built on top of Ethereum blockchain, aiming to connect artists and studios in need of GPU compute power with mining partners which are willing to rent out their GPU capabilities from the Render marketplace. And the other one is Akash Network. It's the same, but they are targeting small enterprises, aiming to reduce their compute power costs with 80-90% compared to the traditional cloud systems. Both names quite promising, taking 1% each from my portfolio. The other name here is WorldCoin, which is ID crypto AI project and is the crypto solution for ID proof. Now, I do understand the crypto community is divided for this one, but every time they post something, the price just, goes up. So WorldCoin is an interesting project, very hype driven, and with the power of ChatGPT, I think this one will do very good in 2024, despite the fact that the tokenomics are looking extremely bad. Basically, they have only 1% of the supply circulating, so it's one of those high risk, high reward type of projects. Now here we also have a mix which deserves 1% of my portfolio. And the mix obviously aims maximum portfolio exposure. The mix consists Singularity, Fetch AI, ChainGPT, BitTensor, and the Graph, where BitTensor powers a decentralized blockchain-based machine learning network, which is also open source. A promising project, but the price went berserk, and that's why it's in the mix. I allocate small amount here just for exposure. Singularity here is an OG, an AI marketplace. They are also behind the robot Sophia, very big name in the AI space. You cannot move without it, maximum exposure. So we have Singularity into the mix as well. Next one is the Graph, another OG decentralized machine learning network that needs no introduction really. Build, deploy, and monetize AI dApps, and the Graph is also in the mix. The next one is Fetch AI. Utility token FET was designed to find, create, deploy, and train digital twins, and is an essential part of the smart contracts and oracles on the platform. Another solid name from the AI space. And the last one here, which is the most interesting, I believe, from the mix, is ChainGPT. It's a new name, but quite exciting project which can do some crazy gains in my opinion. It's again from those high risk, high reward type of picks. They have AI NFT generator, AI generated news, AI smart contracts, auditor, AI training assist, launchpad, technical analysis, and more and more and more. So it's a crazy project and part of the mix, which the total mix, as I said, takes 1% of the total portfolio. And of course, we have the future of AI. Despite the fact that I don't think crypto and AI are really good partners still at this point, maybe in the future they will be, but currently it's a little bit, I just think the space is underdeveloped yet. But on the other hand, the space is very hot, the hype is there, and the hype is catalyst that drives the price, and we are here for money and maximum crypto portfolio exposure, and that's why I believe I need some good AI crypto projects in my portfolio, and those are the best ones pretty much. If you are into AI crypto, I have a video about the top 20 crypto AI projects for 2024, which I encourage you to go and watch. And with that said, we reached 100% allocation and the end of my portfolio. As you can see, I'm looking for the ultimate portfolio, full exposure and maximum diversification to all hot and important crypto sectors in sync of maximum profit potential. And at the same time, I'm trying to reduce the risk as much as I can. Important note here, as you can see, I keep 9% of my whole portfolio for future projects, where we have 4% waiting for DeFi, we have 3% waiting for games, 1% waiting for AI, and 1% waiting for layer 2, but specific layer 2. Allocations are also possible if I see something very promising that may force some changes, but I'll make video about it, of course. And under that here I have the FOMO budget. Listen, I don't need it, but as I said at the beginning, allocate like 1-2% for your personal FOMO, gamble, rational decision making if you wish. That's if you want, that's if you need to feed your FOMO, but you know, decide strict percentage and never step out of that. So that's my vision of how the ultimate 2024 crypto portfolio should look like. I hope this video was helpful in case you are in a process of creating your personal 2024 crypto portfolio. Let me know if you think I have missed an important project using the comment section. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you all with the next one.